Hi, my name is Beer, and let's start with Sea of Thieves 2023 edition. Are you ready to become most notorious pirate in the world, take hostages and pillage ships for incredible wealth? That is great. If so, you can also try this game and treat it like a pirate simulator for your upcoming life of crime. So here you will explore a vast world filled with unspoiled islands and underwater kingdoms, take on adventures to hunt for lost loot, forge a reputation with the trading companies and battle various foes, from phantoms and ocean crawlers to megalodons and the mighty kraken itself. And you know, after you kill the beast, keep in mind that krakens are very tasty with hot potatoes and lemon. Also here, obviously, you can try your hand at fishing, make maps to your own buried treasure, or choose from hundreds of other optional goals and side quests. And the game itself is not a short one. The estimated time to complete all 60 Sea of Thieves achievements is about 1000 hours. Make sure you have a lot of free time before buying. Also, this edition, besides a base copy of Sea of Thieves itself, includes all permanent content added since launch, plus 10,000 gold bonus and many other things. Botanicula. This is a humor-filled adventure game created by the makers of super famous Machinarium and Samaros series. Here you'll control 5 friends, little tree creatures, set out on a journey to save the last seed from their home tree, which was infested by evil parasites. This is a relaxed game perfect for hardcore gamers, their partners, parents, families, and old shady ladies with one eye. Don't ask me why, instead go and explore more than 150 detailed locations, watch funny animations, and find incredible amounts of hidden bonuses. You'll not find any text or boring dialogues. The game is really suitable for everyone. Players on Steam are saying that Botanicula is a trippy little game that is relaxing and hilarious at the same time. Definitely a hidden gem, and overwhelmingly positive review score can confirm that with ease. Industries of Titan. This is an industrial city-building sim strategy game set on a Saturn's moon. You'll create a sprawling industrial city and compete with rival corporations to stake your claim on the industries of Titan. As the founder of a new city corporation and backed by the unforgiving and mysterious council, you've been granted new headquarters in Titan's inhospitable atmosphere. There you will need to explore the ruins of a forgotten alien civilization while bearing the onslaught of ruthless rebels and competition from your corporate rivals. The council expects much from you. Do not disappoint the council. You know what happens when you disappoint them? Well, you may not know, but you know, right? People are talking that this is a great city builder with a lot of potential, although sometimes it crashes without any reason. Call of Juarez, Gunslinger. This one and other games of the franchise are probably the most popular and well-known first-person shooters set in a Wild West. Here you will play as the best gunslinger West ever saw and blur the lines between man and myth. This adventure, made of memorable encounters, will unveil the untold truth behind some of the greatest legends of the Old West. And I'm talking about Billy the Kid, Pat Garrett, Jesse James, and Dick Penison. Oh, come on, who wrote this?
You did.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, with a gun holster tied to your leg, become a ruthless bounty hunter on a journey made of all-out gun battles. Master the art of blasting pistols, shooting rifles, and dodging bullets.
Metaphorically, right?
No, it's exactly like in The Matrix. You can slow time and actually dodge bullets. How cool is that? Also, I really like the narration part of the game. It is trying to hold your attention even when nothing is happening. Let's say you climb the ladder, but at the same time you are listening to the story, and that is really cool. People are comparing the style with an action RPG game Bastion, which also has the narration implemented. This is a really great invention, and I wish that more games had something like that. Well, with the ability to turn it off, of course. Alien Isolation. Here you are all alone in a giant space station and a xenomorph is hunting you. You have no guns, you are the prey, but despite the fact that you are a woman, your balls are way bigger than some men have, definitely bigger than mine. So you are being hunted by a creature of nightmares, smart, stealthy, and built to kill. Sometimes it can take an hour without an encounter, sometimes you can feel it creeping upon you in the vents, sometimes you can hear it, and sometimes you just die because a xenomorph is not some usual monster. It's terrifying. Really terrifying. The feeling when you see him launching at you from a distance will put your heart into your heels. It looks and moves in a way which somehow invokes the primal fear in your brain. To play this game, you will have to have huge and hairy mental balls, because with time you may get used to the alien, you may get used to hiding and even to jump scares, but when the game guides you to the alien nest, and it's the only way to go, you will only wish that you had not 2 balls, but at least 4, or more likely 7. Yeah, 7 is good number. A short hike. 99% of positive reviews.
What?
Yeah, I know, it looks like some kind of miracle. Games with such ratings do not exist. You know, like elves, or politicians who don't lie, or elves who don't lie.
Those lying bastards!
So here you can hike and climb through peaceful mountainside landscapes, follow the marked trails or explore the backcountry as you make your way to the summit. Along the way, meet other hikers and discover hidden treasures. People on Steam are talking that this game is Breath of the Wild crossbred with Animal Crossing, and the only bad thing about this game is that it ends. And it ends really quickly. About 1.5 hours of your life will be made better by this game. A masterpiece, no doubt. Hades. This is one of the most known action RPG roguelite games in our universe, and it holds 3rd place on the best Steam rankings. That is huge, let it sink, 3rd place among all the games on Steam. So here your goal is to avoid dying, but the game mechanics are made in a way that you will die a lot and those deaths will make you stronger. That is the beauty of Hades. Instead of raging when your protagonist dies, you are happy and then you try again and again because it's very fun, or because you are some kind of masochist. Let's be fair, it's probably because of that, and it's okay, I don't judge. Aliens Fireteam Elite. Have you ever wanted to be a protagonist in the Alien movie? Well, I doubt that, I really do. And if yes, what is wrong with you? Anyway, here, after so many fear-infused hours in alien isolation, you can finally get some revenge on these terrifying creatures. You will kill hundreds of them, so it's nothing like the movies. Although it's really fun to play if you have a friend or two. You can play in single player as well, but I assure you that if you want full experience, you will have to find some friends. I know that may be mission impossible, but you can try anyway. You don't need real friends, all you need is some Discord channel with the same-minded people. So here you'll be exploring some friendly planet filled with friendly fauna and live in harmony all together. Except you don't. This game is a carnage where you will have to battle through hordes of different types of xenomorph, customize your character and gear, and level up as you try to contain this ever-growing threat. I especially like the diversity of enemies in this game. They really took their time to create some nasty monsters. The game itself is basically Left 4 Dead just with aliens. I think it's great, and 81% of Steam reviews are also positive. Unrailed. This is a chaotic railroad construction game where you work alone or way better together with your friends as a team to build a train track across endless procedurally generated worlds. You will master encounters with its inhabitants, upgrade your train and keep it from derailing. That is easier to say than to do, believe me. Chaos will overwhelm you and your bodies more than once. The game is not as dramatic as Overcooked games, for example, but you can for sure understand what will happen if you fail to communicate. This game has pretty good AI as well, so if your friends are dead, or if you are dead to them, then playing this game with the help of friendly AI will be fun as well. Pyre. This is a party-based RPG in which you lead a band of exiles to freedom through ancient competitions spread across a vast mystical purgatory. Here you'll find a campaign mode where you will never be forced to lose progress. That's interesting because whether you win or fail, your journey still continues. The interactive narrative is expressed through a story that no two players will experience in quite the same way. On top of the single-player campaign, Pyre features a local two-player versus mode where you can play against a friend or CPU opponent, which is way more realistic for you, my lovely friendless schmuck. So here you can choose your party from 20 different characters and dive into battle. This game has 2 modes of gameplay. First one is the battles, which makes your heart beat faster, and let's be fair, that's probably only cardio exercise you do, and also slow, text-heavy sections with very little player input, so you often lose that combat readiness when you deal with those scenes. And most of us play games like that not for the text walls, but for the great action. Well, this game has both, so it's up to you. Age of Mythology Extended Edition. Game takes place in the lost land of Atlantis and focuses on famous Nordic, Egyptian and Greek legends. Age of Mythology Extended Edition comes along with the expansion and the additional Golden Gift campaign, and that is nice. In the game you will train and use mythological creatures like Minotaur, Cyclops and other well-known monsters invented thousands of years ago. Yeah, back in the days it was really easy to impress. If you put a cow's head on a man's body, everyone was like,
Oh wow, so inventive, are you a genius?
Or if you drew a man with 1 eye instead of 2, that was the pinnacle of the creation back then. And now we look at all these bosses in the Elden Ring and we're like,
that is fine, I guess.
Anyway, in Age of Mythology you can call upon the gods for assistance in flattening enemy towns with meteors, punish your puny enemies with lightning storms, or drown them in the ocean of their own tears. Age of Empires 4 Anniversary Edition. I remember when I bought the game for the full price on the release date, I wasn't very pleased. You know, I bought it because I wanted to make a review video, but I never ever managed to make it because I was literally bored by this game and I couldn't force myself to play it for more than a few hours. I can't say that I hated the game, but for me it looked and felt just like Age of Empires 2, but with cartoony mobile phone graphics aimed at kids. And I wanted a new game, not something I have played a million times before. Well, I know that some people have nothing against visuals like that, but I couldn't enjoy the game. I can make an example of what a game like that should look like. Check out Manalords. It's realistic, it's pleasing to the eye, it's what we were all expecting from Age of Empires 4 and didn't get. And Manalords is an indie game. What a shame for Age of Empires. Well, otherwise the game is nice. You just have to pull yourself over these visuals straight from the children's coloring books. If you like that, the price is more than great. All in all, it's a AAA RTS game with very positive reviews. Amid Evil. This is a retro-looking first-person shooter built on Unreal Engine 4, continuing the carnage of legendary Heretic. So if you are old enough and Heretic plays some strings in your mind, you already know that this game is worthy of your attention. Overwhelmingly positive reviews should help as well. You'll find 7 distinct episodes, each featuring a completely different setting and enemies, awesome magical weaponry that can be overcharged with the souls of the dead, and endless hordes of evil to eradicate. Players on Steam are praising the game because of its awesome music and visuals and incredible weaponry. There is also a VR version of the game available. Also, you can try a free demo as well. Tales of Iron. Set in a grim dark land plagued by war, the game is a hand-drawn RPG adventure with punishingly brutal combat. As an heir to the Rat Throne, you must restore your broken kingdom by banishing the merciless Frog Clan and their ferocious leader. As you explore the deceivingly charming world, you'll encounter a cast of unique companions ready to aid you in your adventure, and you'll need all the help you can get, because to be honest, you suck, and with companions, you suck less, so any help you get is great. Whether that's a new potato salad recipe, blueprints to forge deadly weapons and armor, or even a land-chugging armor-plated mole-mobile. Title has about 90% of positive reviews on Steam, so it's fair to say Tales of Iron is a good game. Far Cry New Dawn. Far Cry games have always been colorful, but this is an absolutely next level of an airy-fairy unicorn carnage. They call it vibrant, I call it eye-melting. Despite that, Far Cry New Dawn is a decent game. You will dive into a post-apocalyptic Montana, 17 years after a global nuclear catastrophe. You will join fellow survivors and lead the fight against the dangerous new mob and their ruthless leaders, as they seek to take over the last remaining resources. And you are not in a mood to give your potato salad to anyone. You are more fond of bloodshed and carnage, and this is what you will do here. If you have a friend or loving mother-in-law, you can play this game together in co-op mode as well. People on Steam are bashing New Dawn for being just a shadow of Far Cry 5, and I agree, it should have been a DLC. But when it's on sale, why not? It costs as DLC as well, except you don't need the base game to play it. Sable. You will embark on a unique and unforgettable journey and guide Sable through her gliding, which is a rite of passage that will take you across vast deserts and mesmerizing landscapes capped with the remains of spaceships and ancient wonders. You'll explore the dunes on your hoverbike, scale monumental ruins and encounter other nomads as you unearth mysteries long forgotten and discover what you are hiding behind your mask. The game is single player only, and you can already see that it is a work of art. There is a lot in this world just waiting to be discovered and explored. People on Steam are talking that the game is a little bit similar to the Breath of the Wild. The world is open and the amount of quests here won't let you get bored. Eldest Souls. This is a Souls-like boss rushing game where you kill evil gods. Well, at least you think they are evil, but the backstory is that mankind imprisoned those gods a long time ago and now they are draining your world of life itself. To be fair, we brought this on ourselves, and now we have to repair the stuff our ancestors screwed up a long time ago and kill some gods. Or, more realistically, to die a lot. Game looks great, those graphics are true work of art, no doubt. The only thing I don't like is the name of a game. Eldest Souls are obviously named because of a genre, but I find it a bit annoying practice. It's like naming an action RPG game Diablo. Imagine Path of Diablo, Grim Diablo, Torch Diablo, Diablo Arc, Diablo Quest, Victor Diablo, and of course the incredible adventures of one Diablo. That would be silly, right?
No, that would be actually cool.
Oh, shut up. Green Hell. Game feels like Wrath, The Forest and Far Cry Primal had a baby, and very positive reviews are saying to us that this baby is not ugly and you shouldn't give up it for adoption. This time. Here you are left alone in a jungle without any food or equipment, trying to survive and find your way out. Clinging to life, you have to go on a journey of durability, as the effects of solitude weigh heavy not only on your body but also on the mind. How long can you survive against the dangers of the unknown? Knowing you, probably not very long. You know, me as well, when I watch survival shows, especially the one called Alone, I'm always thinking that I would never give up and I would win the money no matter what, not like these other people. But the truth is, I would probably slip on some snail and die on the third day. So here, constantly threatened by the jungle, you'll fight with both wild animals and tropical illnesses. You will also have to face the traps set by your own mind and fears that crawl out of the darkness of the endless jungle. Enjoy the game alone or with friends. Bad North. Game is set in Nordic realm invaded by Vikings. However, the realm's prince and princess managed to escape and now can gather an army to fight the invaders.
Haha, in your face, stupid invaders.
Yeah, learn to invade or something. The gameplay takes place on small procedurally generated islands. During the game you gather resources and find allies who help you fight your enemies. Your army can feature various units, such as archers, knights and pikemen. Before buying, you can try the demo version on Steam for free. Star Renegades. This is a tactical RPG strategy game in which you command members of a rebellion fighting an evil empire. The game focuses on missions which usually consist of battles with intelligent and constantly evolving opponents. Quests are randomly generated, which in combination with the constantly evolving enemies makes the game a little different each time you play. It gets more challenging and death is something inevitable. The members of your team form friendships and even deeper relations which can result in a child. He or she will join your ranks as another unique character, so you can literally breed more heroes here. Breed, yeah, that's the right word. Graveyard Keeper. Here you can make candles from human fat, burn witches, and even sell mystery meat to the local tavern. Well, you and I, we both know that this is human flesh from corpses, but nobody else has to know, right? That is not a question, by the way. You know, you wouldn't want to visit a local tavern as a special guest. You know, I like you. Anyway, Graveyard Keeper is the most accurate medieval cemetery management sim of all time, because obviously there are no other medieval cemetery management games. You'll build and manage your own graveyard and expand into other ventures while finding shortcuts to cut the costs. Use all the resources you can find. After all, this game is about the spirit of capitalism and doing whatever it takes to build a thriving business. If you have guts, try this game. If not, you can always harvest some from a fresh dead body. Frostpunk. This is a society survival game. You are a ruler of the last city on Earth. It is your duty to manage both its citizens and infrastructure. And here optimization and resource management often clash with empathy and thoughtful decision making. If your population is huge, they need more food, so it's nice if some of the people die out doing some harsh labor. Then you get more food for the rest of them, but that will put you in a hard position as a leader. Well, you can go full retard and become a dictator, but then people will rise against you. But then you can just beat them and make them obey. Send their children to work in mines and in general let a few people die to save the rest, even against their own will, but you know, for the greater good. Cry Primal. Welcome to the Stone Age, a time for extreme danger and limitless adventure, when giant mammoths and saber-toothed tigers ruled the earth and humanity was at the bottom of the food chain. Well, not the very bottom, raccoons were still below us, but a fat, juicy human would also be more preferred meal for a saber-toothed tiger, so I don't know if this lower position of raccoons really help us here. As the last survivor of your hunting group, you will learn to craft a deadly arsenal of, you know, sticks and stones to fend off fierce beasts and outsmart enemy tribes to conquer the land and become the apex predator. That won't be easy, except if you play on easy, then it will be easy. Riftbreaker. Here you are, the Riftbreaker, an elite scientist commando inside a powerful mecha suit.
Ooh la la.
You have entered a one-way portal to a distant planet at the far reaches of the Milky Way. You have a purpose of building up a base that will allow travels back to Earth and continue colonization. So you are tasked to construct a two-way rift back to Earth, because living on a planet without cold, refreshing beer or potato salad is painful, and that shouldn't even be a legal thing. Although you encounter a bit of a bigger problem than the absence of beer, which is monsters, thousands of them. The game itself is a hybrid between StarCraft, Diablo and Satisfactory, a really great and entertaining game. Maneater. Have you ever wanted to become a shark? To swim in the endless ocean until you get eaten by a bigger shark or a killer whale? Well, honestly, being a shark kinda sucks. I wish I was a jellyfish instead. No brain, no worries, no anxiety, only never-ending fun. Yeah, I'm sure jellyfishes feel like that every day. Anyway, Maneater will let you experience the ultimate power fantasy as the apex predator of the seas. Become a giant shark and eat someone. By the way, Maneater is a single-player open-world action RPG. Yeah, you heard right, it's an RPG game. I can only guess that you weren't expecting that. You will start as a small shark pup tasked with surviving the harsh world while eating your way up the ecosystem. To do this, you will explore a large and varied open world, encounter diverse enemies and prey, both human and wildlife. Find the right resources and you can grow and evolve far beyond what nature intended. It's a game after all. This is fortunate because you can get revenge on all those filthy fishermen. Thank you for watching.
Have a nice day and I'll see you next time, B.